Here to the Mainline Sports Bar here at Oaklawn. Having a great time. It's going to be an interesting night. Already off to an interesting night with some interesting technical difficulties, but we are going to be here having a great time. Once again, let me welcome in the whole team. We are all here. Matt can't join us tonight because he has baseball practice with the little ones, all right? So he says, I'm going to do it from the field. We said, Matt, take the week off, all right? Just hang out, be a dad, do your thing. But once again, I want to give everybody a little heads up. If everything goes dark in here, I think we're having some power issues, maybe a little storm outside or whatever. So if that happens, then Josh, Grant, I need y'all just hold it down, all right?
All right. Got you.
Yeah, but speaking of things we wish were, figured out and we could get figured out a little bit better, it would be the defense for Arkansas this past week down in Ole Miss. And so this is what we have for everybody here today. We're going to get into the tape, all right? We're going to do a big-time breakdown when it comes to things that we saw on the defensive side of the ball. And I want to just go ahead and warn everybody. It's some of the worst tape that I've ever watched, all right? And this is tough for me because I love my Hogs, but the thing is you got to watch the tape, and a lot of people want to know what happened to the defense. Well, I'm going to show you what happened to the defense and try to give you some insight to why it's happening in the first place. Also, too, you got to give credit when credit is due. We're going to look at film on the offensive side of the ball because we saw some very, very encouraging things. And so that's what I'm very excited about. And we got a whole list of lineup things for y'all coming up this week. So you got your breakdown here tonight. Grant's going to talk about what he has for you tomorrow. Okay, Wednesday, we're going to start doing our viewer comments where we're going to open up everything live. So if you have any question you want, all you have to do is hop on Wednesday night, and we're going to be having conversations back and forth with our 4th and 5 viewers. Thursday, Matt probably is going to have, I would say, the most anticipated breakdown of the year because he's really going to dig into the defense. There's a couple of things that I saw on tape. I admit, I don't really know what's going on. So I'm very curious about his perspective when he breaks that down. And then obviously Friday, Josh is going to have scout him up. But I can only say so much. So Grant, we're going to go ahead and start with you when it comes to your breakdown Tuesday night and let Grant cook. What do you got for us coming up?
Yeah, so Tuesday, it's coming out first thing in the morning. I think that's when we do it. Another great game by the offensive line up front for Arkansas. Super excited that we have a line that can protect Talon. Obviously, Talon's having off to a really, really great year through 3 weeks. So we'll break them down, look at what we did well, look at a few things. Once again, kind of getting nitpicky, but it's been a fun year so far because we played extremely well up front. And can we continue to do that? So we'll take a look back at Ole Miss, and then later on in the week, we'll take a look a little bit at Memphis, kind of see what I want to break down from them and what we have coming up for Saturday.
All right, Grant, I got to like it. And we've kind of talked about this a little bit earlier this week as well, encouraging what we've seen on tape moving forward. I already put my money down on the Arkansas-Memphis game. I put $100 on it, Arkansas to cover the spread and everything. That's how confident I feel based off simply what I saw from the offense Monday night. Defensively, we got to tighten up just a little bit. But speaking of defense, I want to go ahead and give you an idea as to what Matt Harris is going to have for everybody coming up. And so you got a chance to talk with Matt and taking a look at the tape when it comes to breaking down what happened for Arkansas on that side of the ball, man. Very excited to see what he has coming up for getting defensive with Matt Harris. You should be on our text thread. Oh, sorry, Grant. You back up. You should be on our text thread. The conversations we have. Matt said he was absolutely gutted watching this game. He sent us so many timestamps of things he wants to go back and brush up on and figure out. So, like I said, that's going to be a highly anticipated breakdown. Matt always does a great job when it comes to letting us know exactly what is happening. So, that being said, that's what he's going to have for y'all Thursday. And Friday, we got to move ahead, okay? Everybody wants to know, Josh, are we going to be able to get this figured out, okay? What's Memphis going to bring to the table? You did a great job talking about the quarterback from Ole Miss once we figured out he was going to be on the field. And you said he showed glimpses of, he could be very impactful, and shoot, he was. All right, so what do you got for us as a look ahead for Friday night when it comes to talking about Memphis?
Yeah, well, Memphis is a good team too this week, DJ. So don't expect to be able to go into Memphis and just come out with an easy win leading up to this next Notre Dame game, led by Ryan Silverfield over there at Memphis. They're averaging 37 points a game. Watched a little bit of tape against their win against Troy this past week, and they look pretty good. Another dynamic quarterback. who can put the ball in the air, and they got a stable of running backs as well. Their quarterback, 55 of 75 for over 600 yards this season. They've got a stable of running backs led by Sutton Smith, 5'9", 185, quick guy, a lot of speed. So I kind of think we're kind of looking at Ole Miss's little brother coming into this game. So not going to be an easy win. Never is on the road. Memphis is a place to go in and get a win, a much needed win coming off of a disappointing loss in Ole Miss. And I say disappointing loss because a lot of people felt like, oh, well, we competed at a high level. Now, I still find it very disappointing. We talked about that in the post-game show. So you got to go into this week taking this Memphis game extremely serious so that we don't end up, on a slippery slope downhill, especially going into
I'm going to bring Grant back in. All right, I'll go ahead and ask y'all overall feelings for the rest of the season. That's been a big question that we had today at 103.7 The Buzz while we were on the zone. People said, did we feel a little bit more optimistic about potentially winning more games than we thought we were going to win at the beginning of the year? I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to go down to Oxford and really struggle, but it was very encouraging to see them compete at a high level on the offensive side of the ball. We've seen what is happening to Notre Dame, already 2 losses. We've seen what has happened across the country and other teams as well. So does that encourage y'all a little bit more moving forward? Grant, I'll start with you with the question. Do you see 8 wins on the schedule this year?
I don't think it's out of the question. I mean, do I see them? Can I just go point them out and say, oh, yeah, here's a definitive, 6 more wins for us this year? I don't know that I can say that. But I can say that I think with where the offense is playing and the way they're executing, I think we have an opportunity to be in every game. And so if our defense can come along a little bit, maybe change up some personnels, I don't know exactly what they need to do on that side of the ball. So I'll actually be tuning into Matt's segment later this week as well to see what his thoughts are. But I think we can play and score with anyone in the country. So did I know that going into the year? I thought that might be the case in year 2 with Coach Petrino and getting that offense kind of up to snuff. But 8 wins, that's a tall task for any team, especially with the schedule that we have. So, I think that we have 6 games, 7 games that we can go win, but we're going to have to go beat some people that maybe on paper we quote unquote shouldn't to get that done.
Now, Josh, you may be the most optimistic person on our crew here, all right? And so when it comes to seeing what you saw on the field last Saturday.
I'm not laughing at that, Grant. I didn't laugh at that, Grant.
He's serious. I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, he is the one that says, hey, I can see it getting done. How are your feelings after the Ole Miss game moving forward?
Well, I think that, after watching game film, I said, hey, we can go into Ole Miss and beat these guys. You were the one that was drawn back a little bit, DJ, not thinking that it was going to be I don't even think you thought we would be that close in that game.
Whoa,
after looking at the scouting report.
Time out.
Yeah, I mean, come on, DJ. Let's be real. Let's be real about the things that were said earlier in the week.
Tape. I said
let's just be real about the things that were said. I said this is anybody's ball game.
This is clearly missing Jackson Dart. What we've seen on tape is still miscommunication, not getting the ball out on time. We talked about Austin Simmons. He's going to throw us interceptions, and he's going to give us opportunities. I almost wish he played. And I said before watching tape on Ole Miss this year, I wasn't sure where we're going to stand. But after seeing the tape, how they struggled against Kentucky, I said Arkansas could go down there and make this thing interesting, which they did. So I'm just making sure we can go back and look at the tape. All right, we said it.
I like how DJ just teeter-totters, right? It's the beginning of the week, it's one thing. After the game, it's a little bit. You got a nice little stretch there, man. I like that.
I can go back and pull up all these clips. All right, so I will. But go ahead.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it later in this week. I want you to pull up some clips because here's what I said, and I've been saying it all along: is that the Arkansas Razorbacks could win in Ole Miss, and I think that obviously we didn't, right? And we got exposed. Our defense got exposed, and we didn't think that Coach Travis Williams would come off of that 700 yards of offense that they put up on us last year, going to Ole Miss and let them have such success with a backup quarterback. But nonetheless, I said that Arkansas has the capability, and Taylor Green has been showing in week 1 and in week 2 the steps and the progression for us to be able to go into this game. And it was a 50-50 game to me all week long, and we talked about that. I think that it exposed the fact that our defense has a hard time showing up when it matters the most. I was looking at defensive stats. I don't think we had 1 sack by a defensive lineman. maybe not even one tackle for loss. Actually, I think maybe Quincy Rhodes Jr. had like a one tackle for loss or a half tackle for loss. But our only sack, I think, came from Miguel Mitchell. You can't win SEC games like that in Ole Miss with a defense that stays home in Fayetteville. It's just not possible to do it. So if we want to continue to compete in the SEC, Memphis is a different story this week. I think we can go in, have the exact same type of defensive play, and still beat Memphis at Memphis, because I don't think that Memphis has the level of skilled wide receivers that Ole Miss had, right? We talked about this in the postgame a lot. Ole Miss put us in a lot of one-on-one situations. And there were some viewers that were commenting on our YouTube video after the game talking about, well, this don't call out the defensive personnel. You know, this is on a particular coach, the defensive coach. Well, at the end of the day, if you're calling a man coverage, at some point in time, it is on the personnels out there to be able to make that play. It's a 1v1 situation. The guy's going deep down the sideline in man coverage. The only person on him is our defensive back. So we have to expect our defensive backs to be able to play in those one-on-one situations, especially in the SEC. So based on what we saw last week, Memphis and the talent that's at their wide receiver position is a little bit more on par for our defensive backs to be able to play with. Now, I don't know if that was just a one-off game, DJ. I don't know if Ole Miss just played their best and we played our worst. You know, things can change week over week. You can get back into the film room and sharpen things up. But if there was any game that I would have expected the defense to be prepared, it should have been the Ole Miss game. So it worries me that moving forward, if that was what should have been the best, can we really sharpen it up this season? I don't know. We'll see what we get out of a week-to-week progression from our defense, because a lot of that is on personnel. That's just the reality in those one-on-one situations. And then again, defensive line, you know, when there's a defensive edge rusher who's in a one-on-one situation against an offensive tackle, Grant, you tell me, is it not often one-on-one on that outside edge for the tackle to be able to block the defensive end, or the defensive end to be too fast, too athletic, and get to the quarterback? That's the way it's always seemed to me. So I don't know. I feel like we have to have guys step up and show us that they're ready to be playmakers in the SEC in order for us to win.
I would say it depends on the tackle, and it depends on the DN in the matchup. But I will say this. I know this was supposed to be quick, so I'll go to ask the question, because you do bring up something that has been asked. It was asked actually last night in our members-only content. It sounds weird when I say it like that. But when it comes to coaching, when it comes to talent, and when it comes to effort, if you were to break it down percentage-wise, where would you say the problem lies with the defensive side of the ball right now? Grant, I'll go with you.
I think after I went back and watched it, so I always watch the game as a fan first, and then I go watch it back on Sundays or Saturday nights, depending on when we play for what we do here. It felt effort-driven again when I watched it back. A lot of guys loafing, a lot of guys not in the screen, which is crazy from week to week, the change, because I gave the defense a ton of credit after the game in my breakdown for flying around 5, 6, 7 guys in the screen when they clip it. And so what happened this week to that week? And so were we just not there? Did we not want to give the effort? I don't know, but it felt very effort-driven. It felt like a lot of guys were like, hey, someone else will tackle him. Someone will go get him. And so when I watched that back, I'm like, where did that culture come in all of a sudden? And so I don't think, you know, you got to give credit to Lane Kiffin too. Okay, first off, incredible offensive mind. I mean, probably two of the best went at it Saturday that are in all of college football, definitely in the SEC. And so I don't think we were necessarily in bad position or just didn't blatantly, you know, got burnt or whatever. I think we probably made a few mistakes, but then I think tackling and those types of things, a lot of it was effort driven. There was a lot of yak yards for their backs and wide receivers that we just didn't get them down when we made contact with them. And so all that stuff starts to stack up when you play 4 quarters. So I think that's probably where I would lean into it. Didn't break down the scheme and all that kind of stuff as much, but it felt very effort driven when I watched it back on Saturday.
Josh, do I dare ask?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that it came down to effort because I think all those guys were trying. I think the energy, I was at the game. I think that the energy was high in that place. I think everybody was trying their best. Maybe some guys were rattled. I don't know. I can't get inside the head of, every single player, but I keep coming back to this because what Ole Miss did was not a surprise. In fact, they almost had to keep it as simple as possible because they had a backup quarterback in the game. And, you can't really rely on your backup quarterback in the way that you can your starter who you've been prepping with all summer and the first few weeks of the season. So they're going to keep it simple. And what are they going to do? The same thing that Lane Kiffin always does, the same thing that they've been putting on film. Snap the ball quick, get the ball into space, hand it off to their running back, sneak it with their mobile dynamic quarterback. And when they lull you to sleep, they're going to get an isolated situation with a wide receiver that's out wide by the numbers with not a lot of safety over the top help. And when they get those, they're going to take a shot. So you watched film all week. We know that's coming. And I don't want to get into, did the defensive coordinator call the right play? Did they call zone or did they call man when they should have? Because at the end of the day, every single person that's ever played a sport lives for those moments where the lights are bright, it's on you, the ball's in the air. Now just be an athlete. Now this is outside of football now. This is just Jimmy's and Joe's. Who's better, me or you? And unfortunately, the Ole Miss wide receivers were better almost every single time that they were in those situations. So I think it comes down to a little bit of a talent difference that's on the field versus Ole Miss. And moving forward, when we play Memphis, I think that it's not going to be that big of a difference. I think that Memphis will probably be more in line with the skill level and the talent level from their wide receivers to our defensive backs. But until they show me something different, DJ, I don't know how I could read that any different.
I mean, I'm with you, and that's the name of this sport. It's a show me world. So, all right, I'm going to answer a lot of these questions, all right, because the tape don't lie, all right? So we're about to watch game film here in a second. Like I said, we're going to start with some shaky stuff. Then we'll move forward to some really encouraging things a little bit later on. But before I let you go, fellas, this Monday Night Football game already underway. 2 games, one at 6, weird time, and then another one super late at 9 o'clock. So we're here at Oaklawn, and once again, if you want to get in the game within the game and be like my girlfriend who's been betting on about every single game this year, wagering, let's get into what we have for our picks. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it up. Let's see what the crew here has tonight. We got this little matchup. I got the Chargers and the Bucks both winning tonight. Let me go ahead and move this over so everybody can see what we're working with. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers and the Bucks. Feel good about it. And I'm going to take the under in the Chargers game and the over in the Bucks game. Feel good about Baker. It should be an interesting one, though, moving forward in the Chargers, man. I don't know what it is. I just feel like tonight they're going to have the edge over the good old Raiders. But let's go ahead and take a look at the next game right here. Oh, you don't like that one? Who you got? Babe, you don't got either one of those? No. Ebony doesn't like that one, Grant. I guess she's not going to like yours either. Grant, go ahead and talk about your picks tonight.
Yeah, so I'll take the over. I think Justin Herbert probably just going to take over the game here and then take care of business as well. Go ahead and cover that spread of 3.5. Also like the Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. They've been pretty electric down there on offense. So, but I'll still take the under. I like that. Don't know how many points are going to be scored there on the road. But I love the plus 2.5. I'll take the points there for the Buccaneers.
All right. I think maybe Matt's up next. Matt's role. I mean, we're all Chargers, Bucks. See, it's pretty much all the same here. So that's who Matt has tonight. Once again, he is probably encouraging the little ones on in baseball practice here or a game tonight. So that's what he has covered up. All right, Josh. Ooh, you're going against the grain. You got them Raiders. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go against the grain a little bit. Everybody, when I saw y'all's picks, I automatically just went ahead and picked the Raiders. Look, they're getting their program back together. They're getting it back together. I think they need a breakout game and show everybody what they're made of. And then I took the Bucks because I love Baker Mayfield, man. He's got a great story. He's comeback quarterback. You know, they should. Hey, remember when I said that they need to make a statue of Gundy? Did they need to do that at Baker? Not yet.
I mean, he did.
Does that bother you, DJ?
I mean, when you win the Heisman, I mean, I think that puts you in a category of having a statue.
Come on,
where's the statue going? That's my question. Is it going like it?
Oh, at Oklahoma, man.
Okay,
Come on,
I
Oklahoma.
thought you're about to putting outside the Bucks. The Bucks. I was like,
no. Oklahoma. All right, so that's our picks, fellas. I appreciate y'all. It's going to be a very interesting week of breakdowns coming up. Once again, Grant has your Tuesday night with the offensive line breakdown. if you want to feel encouraged about the rest of the year, I encourage you to watch that. Matt's going to have defense on Thursday, and Josh is going to let you know if you need to be excited or worried before the matchup next Saturday down in Memphis. An early kickoff on that one, 11 a.m. Fellas, I appreciate y'all. What?
Yeah.
What now?
DJ.
What?
Look, I just want to say this before I get off. Will you give some credit to Taylor Green in today's episode?
What? Do we do the same show? Do we do the same show?
Well, I just want to make sure that when I haven't seen your breakdown yet. I didn't see what you have prepared for today, but I want to make sure that Taylor Green gets talked about in the light that he needs to get talked about this week.
I swear, like, do you listen when I talk? I've been very optimistic about Taylor Green.
I know, but I mean, for a long time, we've been tough on him.
We have been tough on him. We got high standards. And I'll tell you this.
So I want to keep that same energy when we talk about him this week, because there's been a lot of people in our comments earlier this week that were talking about Taylor Green. You know, maybe they just thought that this game was overhyped or he didn't perform because there was a couple balls that he missed and that kind of thing. Look at any other quarterback, that any of the other Heisman candidate quarterbacks right now that are throwing balls during the game. There's some good balls and some bad. There's always a ball that you wish you could get back as a quarterback. We like to focus on that, but there's a lot of things that Taylor Green is doing on the field that there's no other quarterback in college football that can do right now. And I think we need to be talking about that, because if Taylor Green had been as unloyal as a lot of the other players on our Arkansas Razorbacks team was last season, and he had left and went to a Ole Miss, he would be talked about as if he's a Heisman candidate right now, this early in the season. So he's not going to get that type of praise right now because he's on an Arkansas, and we're probably going to have a worse record. And when you win games, you're a better quarterback. But nonetheless, at least amongst Arkansas media, we need to start talking about him as if he is one of the best, if not the best, quarterback in the SEC.
Did y'all get my email today I sent out?
Week 3. I didn't get it.
Did you get my email?
I don't think I make that list.
You made the list.
I think I unsubscribed at the last email when you said some dumb stuff.
You were scheduled for 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes is all we got time for. All right, we got football we got to get to here at the main line.
Got to say my piece.
I'm out.
Tune in Wednesday. Hey, Wednesday night we can talk as long as we want. All right, that'll be a fun one. All right, fellas, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good one. Now it's time to go and get to it. A lot to talk about, and Josh, stay tuned, okay? Because we will give Taylor Green his roses. But first, we got to talk about the problem at hand. A lot of people want to know what went on with the Arkansas defense, okay? So this is what I like to do. I think emotions right after the game, it's very easy to start pointing fingers, blaming, saying this is the problem. You have to watch film. Then I went and watched film, and I was just, okay, everybody was kind of on par with the way that they were feeling about this defense. And I'll start right here. Once again, once you're in positions to make something happen, you have to capitalize. Quincy Rhodes Jr., this is a guy I've been very high on. He's starting to figure it out, but you have to finish when you're playing games like this. Look at this get off. Oh, sorry. Let me get to this part right here. Look at this get off from Quincy Rhodes right here. I mean, great job, full extension. And when you get to this point right here, I would assume everybody in the stadium would be like, oh, my goodness, that's going to be a sack. We have to finish these plays. We have to. Doesn't get the tackle right here. Then the second guy doesn't gather himself, put himself in a position to make the play, and he lets this quarterback get into that situation. And then you throw it downfield, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and run this back because we got a lot more to talk about on these plays. I would say this happened for most of the plays that I was watching. I had to rewind it so many times to really unpack all the things that were just issues. So I'll say this. Lane Kiffin, he did his part in scouting our team. He knew where our weakness was. He was picking on Steven Dix, our linebacker, when it came to coverage. He put him in very difficult situations. Do I cover the flat or do I go back to this little curl area? And it was very difficult, and Lane Kiffin did it in many different ways. Right now, this receiver is going to drag across the front of the line of scrimmage, and this is where Steven Dix has to make a decision. The running back or the guy behind me. But then I'm thinking, who else is involved in this, okay? So, once again, Kiffin, you have to give him his credit, but I'm just trying to figure out when it comes to miscommunication and out of place. You got 4 Razorbacks right here taking up space. Now, I know that tight end is decent, but I don't think he deserves this type of coverage right here, okay? Number 4, just taking up space. And so there has to be some type of miscommunication that I'm not aware of that is happening right here to just be wasting these guys and not being a part of the coverage. That's why I'm very curious to see what Matt Harris has to say come Thursday. But sometimes things just break down. Great play calls happen. I get it. We talk about effort, okay? And I'm going to get on my boy Caleb Wooden. Now, this is going to be tough for me because if y'all listen to The Zone, Caleb Wooden is a guest, and he comes on every Wednesday, okay? But when we do this, we're trying our best to be fair in our breakdowns. And if things put on tape that we need to address, we will. And when I talk to Caleb Wednesday, I guess we will just have a conversation about it. But we got to do better. We got to do better right here. I get some things are out of your control. Some things just happen. But effort, there is no excuse. All right, he sees the ball being caught right here. And Larry Worth is going to come down and should make this tackle. I'm going to have to talk about Larry Worth today as well when it comes to technique on tackling. But he misses this tackle right here. Just poor angle, poor technique. He should know better than this, especially when the sideline is an extra defender. There's no point of even guarding it. He can't run out of bounds. If he does, the play is over. But my thing is Caleb Wooden, if you see him right there at the bottom of your screen, I don't like the jogging, okay? He's jogging, and he's just hoping maybe this guy will come and get that tackle. I'm going to go back real quick. How many times have we seen in football games, as we look at Caleb Wooden right here, he was expecting his guy to get the tackle, but he doesn't. Just imagine if the effort is there. How many times have we seen players come up behind these guys and try to pop the ball out and force turnovers? Coach Kelly was saying this a little bit earlier in the week. We don't see a lot of that coming from our guys. Just a relentless effort of going for the ball to try to create turnovers. But you're not in the position because you kind of gave up on the play because you thought someone else was going to make the tackle. And like I said, Lane Kiffin, he did it in many different ways. The play I just showed you before, he ran that little drag route in front of the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to do it behind the line of scrimmage. And I think they saw that Steven Dix really struggles with the angles. But the thing about this is, even though they're going to throw this out to the flat, there's still so many other things open. You see those two Razorbacks I got highlighted, they're looking at each other. That's not good technique. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. Miscommunication. If the quarterback wanted to, they got a guy coming wide open in the back of the middle of the end zone for an easy throw and catch because people don't know what to do. I don't understand that. When you have players out there that don't know what to do, this is where it gets tough. I think you have to put that on coaching. And I love Coach Williams, but I'm assuming he would say the same thing too. Going back watching this tape, and there's just so much miscommunication, coaches have to say, I don't know how I need to get through to these guys, the responsibilities, but I have to do a better job as a coach to get that done. And I love Coach T. Will, but we have to do better in this area as well. Too much miscommunication, guys in bad spots, taking advantage of Steven Dix in these spots. And I would think, and it happened again. I mean, I could literally show you 10 different clips of him just taking poor angles. And so at this point, when it happens so many times, you have to make adjustments, all right? And sometimes you don't want to have to wait to get to halftime to make those adjustments. How quickly can they happen on the sideline? Because they just took advantage of this little quick out route in Steven Dix for the entire first half, and they scored points, so many points after it by picking up these easy first downs with really not much opposition. And they do it again. I can't make this up, y'all. They just keep running the same thing, putting him in that exact same situation, but this time they add a different layer. I mean, so Lane Kiffin did a great job scouting us up. He had Coach T. Will's number, and he had so much spacing. But when you look at the corner up top, once again, the safety, let me go ahead and point him out right here. You got this safety over here helping cover this. He should come off on this way sooner than this. It's just when stuff like this just keeps popping up on tape and you got two guys covering one while other guys are running wide open, it's really hard not to just point more at coaching, which is hard for me because I know the coaches are telling them what to do and to do the right thing. It's just not translating over to the football field. Here's another situation right here. Yes, he's going to throw the ball right here, but all over tape, they just leave guys running completely unguarded. I've never seen anything like it, especially with the team on their backup quarterback. I don't understand what the threat is for them to just drop back so much. You have to put pressure on this guy and don't let all these shallow routes where they can just toss it off and let him get comfortable. I don't understand how they give this guy so much space, even though they didn't throw to him. All right. And then another bust. You see that guy got highlighted. He's coming down on the tight end. And then you got another safety coming down to guard this guy. And then the guy I got in blue right now is behind the defense. If the quarterback wanted to, could have thrown another easy touchdown with nobody behind him. I'm not really sure what's going on with the safety position right now for the University of Arkansas. You just run that back again, see the whole play out. Could have been another easy touchdown. and that would have been a much worse situation in Oxford, Mississippi. And then once again, yes, he throws to the guy in the white, but you still get two different options. All right. Sorry about that. We are having power issues here at Oaklawn. Oh, power's back on. Give me a second to let that reboot. I told you it wasn't my fault. All right. Y'all bear with me here just for a second. We're going to let everything kind of boot back up. We got to check the cameras. Unfortunate. I had everybody locked in on this thing too. We're still up, huh? Yeah. Give me a second. We'll get all readjusted here in just a bit. Can you turn the mic back on? Adds a different, hey, you got to make adjustments, okay? This is just part of it. Watch this. Camera back up. Boom. There we go. Guy in the chair. Getting it all set up. You got to make adjustments on the fly. You got to prepare for anything. I think we're going to be good to go. Mics are turning on. Just give me 1 second. All right. Mics are on. Almost. A second. Boom. All right. We're back. Ooh, there we go. Took a quick power outage break, but we're good to go. Oh, man, I wish y'all could see this. We'll give it a second and let these things kind of power back up here in just a second. Let me go ahead and take a look at some viewer comments right now. Ooh, they're not good. Okay. Y'all keep on hanging out. We got a lot of people in the chat room right now. Defense was T. Will's problem. I see that popped up right there. Somebody says, I hope Memphis is not a trap game. I'm not worried about Memphis at all. I don't know why. I just really not. I do think the defense takes this personal this week, and just talent-wise and resource-wise, once again, Arkansas so much better in that area. I think they respond. Now, Notre Dame at home is going to be a different ball game, but I'm not worried about Memphis at all. Too soon for all that. Trey Biddy was at the game and said the defense was visibly low. I mean, you could see it all over the tape. Sorry, I'm trying to give a second for these monitors to boost back up. It's not me, is it? Oh. Unplug it, plug it back in. Guy in the chair said unplug it, plug it back in. Stand by. Give me 1 second. That was a first. The good thing about this, when I post it, I'm going to edit all this out of it. All right. Still not working. Maybe it's on the other end. Ooh, I got to roll with the punches. All right, we'll go through a couple more comments and give that a second to boot back up. It's searching for the transmitter. Maybe it's the transmitter on the other side. Maybe my folks in the back can try to figure that out for you. Currently watching LSU. Defense wasn't ready. This is from Joe. You could see the hesitation before the ball was snapped. That is coaching. Yeah, I just don't like the talking right before the ball is snapped, the miscommunication. Once again, that should be brushed up. And the thing is, too, usually that happens when you play a team, and at least in the first couple drives of the game, if they're showing you something new that you haven't seen before, a weird formation, a new alignment. But going back and watching, that was very on par for Ole Miss. I don't think we saw anything we haven't seen before. Lane Kiffin's offense, it's very complex and simple at the same time. It just goes quick, and, man, he does a great job calling plays. Let's keep this going. It's too much grabbing, not enough winning receivers. Let's go again. It was too much grabbing and not enough running with receivers. Yeah, some unfortunate pass interference calls that we didn't have to have. Well, one was against Davila. Really didn't like that a lot. How about this? As we try to get that booted back up, I like to cater. Ooh, can't put that one up. I like to cater to our people here at the Mainline Sports Bar at Oaklawn for showing up. So how about this? I'm going to take a quick little break, all right? And then on the other side, we'll pick back up where we left off, okay? So everybody watching online, bear with us. We're trying to get some technical difficulties figured out. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Oaklawn Sports is so simple to use, anyone can do it. Probably even an ex-football player.
And you can take it anywhere. Pocket size, sort of like you, Raj.
Small perhaps, but powerful, like this offer.
Sign up now for Oaklawn Sports and get up to $1,000 in bonus bets.
That's like a do-over in case you make a questionable decision.
Too bad they can't do that for haircuts.
I'm calling your mom.
Now with new and easy funding options. Bet with the brand you trust. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Woo!
Hey, you're not in high school anymore, but that knee still remembers that state championship. And that shoulder, well, it's been off since that game-winning drive. At Ortho Arkansas, they see it all the time. Old injuries that never fully healed, finally sneaking up on us. But here's the good news. It's never too late to get back into the things you love. Whether it's running, lifting, coaching, or just keeping up with your kids, their sports medicine team is there to help you move forward without pain holding you back. Fellowship-trained physicians, personalized recovery plans, care that's built around your goals. Because once an athlete, always an athlete. Ortho Arkansas, for plays that still matter.
Southwest Auto Collection in Arkadelphia isn't just another car lot. It's a whole new way to buy a vehicle. Built for comfort, designed for convenience. No pushy sales, just friendly faces, honest answers, and a place that feels more like home than a dealership. Because buying a car shouldn't feel stressful, it should feel simple. One of the biggest perks to buying here at Southwest Auto Collection is we have a Tires for Life program. So as long as you get your service done here, we'll replace your tires completely for free with regular wear and tear up to 200,000 miles. So come on down to see us at 1451 North 10th Street in Arkadelphia, Arkansas. Southwest Auto Collection, a better way to buy, right here in Arkadelphia.
Start your day with Roger Scott, David Basil, and country music star Justin Moore. The Zone with award-winning journalist Justin Acree and former Hog DJ Williams. Afternoons with Out of Bounds, hosted by Wes Moore and Joe Franklin. And on your way home, it's Drive Time Sports with Randy Rainwater and Rick Schaefer. 1037 The Buzz is your fun and game station. Live and local all day. 1037 The Buzz.
Football season is back, and 4th and 5 is ready to give you the best coverage that you can find when it comes to Razorback football. At home games, we're going to be live 2 hours before kickoff at the Alumni House. Everything from breakdown, strategy, taking a look at the analysis for the weeks before, even taking a look into the opponents that we're playing as well. So many questions surrounding each and every moment of the game. 4th and 5 is going to be your one-stop shop to have you covered. Also, too, make sure you're joining us in all of our live shows. Monday night with that breakdown live from Oaklawn at the Mainline Sports Bar. Wednesday night viewer comments. And then Friday night, we're going to pick our high school game of the week. And then, once again, circle it back around to Razorback football. The thing that separates us is we call it how we see it. Not mean, just fair and honest. Make sure you subscribe on all of our social media platforms and be a part of this growing community. 4th and 5, keeping it real, calling it like we see it. No. 4th and 5, giving you everything you need when it comes to Razorback football, but keeping it honest. No, that's not good either. 4th and 5, the state's best. Oh, no, not there yet. We're working on it. 4th and 5, your go-to channel for your... You know what? We'll cross that bridge later. Can y'all just subscribe, and we'll figure out the tagline later. All right. See y'all later. All right, y'all bear with us. We're dealing with some power outages right now, right? It's kind of fun. It makes it exciting.
Got some storms rolling through here. Some
Yeah.
hail, some
Is,
heavy
is that what's
rain.
going on out
Yeah,
there?
yeah, there's something
Okay,
going
yeah.
out there, so-
Sorry, we usually have our Oakline thing in the background. We'll try to get that rebooted. Kind of looks cool. I'll get down with it. But I'm joined by Zach Gillum. We're going to switch things up. We'll get back to the breakdown here in just a second when we figure out some monitor situations. But, all right, let's talk about it. All right, so it's been a fun little time having good with everything that's going on when it comes to betting. You know, we just talked about earlier how Arkansas is on the board, so we're pumped up about that. Let me roll a few of these back so you can take a look at what's going on. But you see it right here. Opened up, Zach. Arkansas versus Memphis. Opened up this morning. I got on it a little bit late, though. I got on it just a little bit late. But tell us what's on the board for the game down there in Memphis.
Yeah, so from where it opened up at 7, it is now already to 7.5. So Arkansas minus 7.5, total at 63, and you might have even gotten 6.5 if you jumped on real early.
That's what I heard. Yep. I missed it, but I feel so good about this game. I don't know what it is about me with my overconfidence when it comes to playing teams like this. I'll say it. I'll put $100 on it.
I put $100 on Arkansas to cover A-State, and it was easy money. All right, so I feel very confident about this. So when it comes to, will we potentially see later on in the week player props for this game, you think?
We should, especially for Taylon Green, Mike Washington. So those two main starters, you'll see maybe a Braylon Russell anytime touchdown scorer. As we continue to go through the season, you'll see more players that are added to that mix. But the main guys you should see there for these remainder of the games.
All right, so when it comes to taking a look at Monday Night Football, all right, we got a game that's early, so these numbers will probably not reflect what's going on right now. But our first game we're going to take a look at is it the Bucs and the Texans? Yep, they're playing right now. It is 7-7 in the first quarter. But you take a look, it opened up at 2.5. Where are we sitting right now?
Yeah, so right now it is actually -1.5 on the Texans. So not too much movement since it's still 7-7. Total at 51.5. You have many options still available: touchdown score, player passing, player rushing, receiving. You can do what the next drive is going to be. So, for instance, Houston Texans drive 2. If you think they're going to score a touchdown, -134. So that must mean they're driving.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. Now's the time. That's what I really like about the fast bets and the in-game bets. You can really pick up on a team's momentum and say, are they going to score this drive? Boom, get it in real quick. All right. So let's go ahead and keep things rolling as far as taking a look at the game. Oh, it's a late one. But the cool thing about it is I don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock anymore in the morning. So I may go ahead and watch a little Monday Night Football, even though it is late. What's on the board with the Chargers and the Raiders?
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun this year. There's a few times where we're going to have 2 games on Monday Night Football. We'll have that double up. In the late game, you're going to have the Chargers and the Raiders. Right now, the Chargers are -3.5 in this one. Total at 47.
All right. Now let's look at some NFL player props. All right. This is what people really like. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let me get this pulled up for you real quick. Yeah, it's right here. All right. Let's take a look at what's on the board. This is what Ebony's favorite thing is to do right here. Okay. She asked me everything. Hey, is this player going to score a touchdown tonight? I was like, I don't know. Maybe. And she's like, okay, I'm in on it. So let's take a look right now. You can see Baker Mayfield, CJ Stroud, Geno Smith, Justin Herbert. We're looking at all the quarterbacks here tonight. What are some other things when it comes to them?
Yeah, and I'm looking at some of the I'm looking at the Chargers right now and the Raiders that play later on tonight. A lot of these options, or all these options, still on the board. Some of this has moved around just a bit, but looking right now, Justin Herbert to score an anytime touchdown +460. Now, what you got to keep in mind with the quarterback on these anytime touchdown scoring plays, they have to run it in or catch a pass themselves. So if you're looking for their passing touchdowns, that's going to be under the passing props.
Got you. That's another one. Because when Taylon was at 1.5, oh, that's easy. But it doesn't include the passing. So all right, let's keep it moving. Running backs. All right, let's take a look at what's on the board. We got Bucky Irvin, Nick Chubb, Ashton Genty, the rookie, and Amarian Hampton. What's a look at? What else we got?
Yeah, Genty. I thought he might get the Heisman last year, but he was up against something pretty tough. So
yeah,
but doing good so far. He has at 67.5. So that number's dropped just a bit. It was at 70.5 just a few hours ago. Geno Smith right now, I know we're looking at these running backs, but he is also available for rushing at 9.5. Looking at Najee Harris, he is at 18.5. And you have many ladder options, or what I call the ladder options. So you don't have to take these main numbers. What you can do is you can actually take over 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards. So you can pick that number that looks good to you, and the odds will adjust based on that.
So the in-game betting, I'm watching the Bucs and the Texans right now. It is 3rd and 9 inside their 20-yard line. So you could bet right now, will they convert a first down? And you could also say, will they score or kick a field goal or get a turnover? Because I think in situations like this, they could potentially go for it on 4th down. So if you were to bet on that right now, what would it look like?
Yeah, right now, looking at this one. Now, keep in mind, one of the things when you're in Oaklawn Sports, pay attention. It lists out what drive that you are wagering on. So if this is drive 1, I'm not seeing it on the board. If this is drive 2 right now, touchdown is +265. So that tells me this is not drive 2 where they're at on the field. So typically with these drive markets, you are going to want to look a little bit of ahead. Because you got to remember that you are on a delay with this TV. It's very close, but the app is actually ahead of your TV. Little hint: if you want to trick some of your friends and make them think that you really know what's going on, you can be ahead of everyone by following on the app.
A little something before now. Don't trick him into some bad stuff. See, if you would
have fun with it.
If you would have put a field goal in this drive, you would have been good to go. All right, let's go and take a look at receiving. We got some receiving. Mike Evans, is he still playing?
He's still playing.
Good God! All right, what's on the board with the receivers tonight?
Yeah, Mike Evans. Looking at him, so that 65.5 that you have posted has just gone up. Action on the over. He's currently at 70.5 yards for his total. And then looking over at Nico Collins, his has moved a little bit as well. In fact, it is off the board temporarily. That will come back, but he's grayed out at the moment. 76.5 when you had it. That has moved all the way up to 87.5 and looks like it's about to move again. So that's one of the things with these player props. Spreads can move, totals can move, but the player props can really move. So if you get in on an early number, you can really take an advantage of something.
All right, I like it. I appreciate it. People are at home and they always want to be a part of the game that is within the game. How can they go about it?
Yeah, so the app Oaklawn Sports is available in the iOS App Store, Google Play Store. Desktop users can join in the fun as well. All you have to do is install a plugin. New users up to $1,000 in bonus bets. All you have to do, sign up, make a deposit. You are active in that offer. Runs for your first 10 days. And then reoccurring every day, we have profit boosts going. Those are for any sport, college football, NFL. Tonight we will have we had some same game parlay specials available. So there's many options there for you.
All right, we're gonna try to fix this thing after the break. So we got our tech guy here right now. I want people to go and see the breakdown that will be hanging out here. So I actually don't mind the purple background. Kind of looks cool, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
We still need that Oaklawn sign up there. We'll figure that out too. We're working through it, y'all. We're working through it. A little adversity just makes us a little bit stronger. So that being said, Zach, I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get to another break. And then on the other side, hopefully we have everything matched out for you. Then we can get back to that breakdown that a lot of people want to watch. Actually, I honestly don't even want to do it because it gets worse. All right. But I got some good things to talk about too. Taylor Green balled out.
There was some good.
There was some good. There was some good. And we're going to address it. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Raj, what you doing here?
Well, it's football season. Thought I'd go ahead and dust off a few plays I've been thinking of.
It looks like you have 13 players here.
Well, that is innovation.
Most innovators can count to 11.
Well, that is a winning play. Just like the Oaklawn Sports app, I can bet anywhere in Arkansas right from my phone. Spreads, totals, player props, same game parlays, and the most live in-game offerings all right here. Download Oaklawn Sports and bet all season long with the best sports betting app in Arkansas.
Hey y'all, this is Cam here at Southwest Ford in Arkadelphia. We just built our brand new 3 facilities here, our GMC, Dodge, and Ford facilities. If you're coming down the highway on I-30, take exit 78. We'll be 1.5 miles down the road. You're gonna look on the right-hand side and you're gonna see our beautiful Chevrolet store. Right past that, you're gonna see our beautiful Dodge store. And at the end, you're gonna see our wonderful Ford store. Our 3 facilities here make it so easy for you to shop here. Whether it's online or in person, we have almost everything you want and need. And if we don't have it, we'll go out and get it for you. If you live somewhere far, north, east, south, or west, we will deliver to you. Free delivery across the whole state. Please come down and come see me at Southwest Auto Ford in Arkadelphia.
Hi, my name's Rebecca Young. I'm a nurse practitioner at Ortho Arkansas Urgent Care. Here at Ortho, we're here for you when life throws you a curveball, whether that be a sprained ankle in a soccer game or a wrist that's seen better days after a weekend full of gardening. Here at Ortho Arkansas, we understand everybody's different, whether you're a weekend warrior, a competitive athlete, or someone who just slipped and fell. Not only do we have your back, we have your knees and shoulders too. We have everything that you need for your orthopedic injury, from x-rays to casting, MRIs, physical therapy. We have it all under one roof. Next time you or your loved one need a hand, a foot, or your spine checked out, please remember us at Ortho Arkansas Urgent Care. There's no referral needed, so drop by or give us a call. We're here for you every step of the way.
All right, everybody, welcome on back. We are trying our best here tonight. I got some sad news for people here. If you really want to watch that breakdown, it's going to be tough. Actually, there is a way to do it. You can pull up 4th and 5 right now on your phone. We are streaming on YouTube, Twitter. We're also on Facebook as well. So if you want to watch it, you can just pull it up on your phone. Hey, and while you're there, hit that subscribe button. All right, that'd be real nice as well. But I got to get a shout out to my friends at Southwest Auto. Once again, they're trying to hook you up with a really good deal. Ford F-350, $17,000 off MSRP. My friends over there in Arkadelphia are trying to take care of you. They really have been a great part of getting us on the road at 4th and 5. We've been able to travel across the state of Arkansas, visit some of the top recruits in the state, sit down with them, interview them, kind of get into their mindset of where they want to go play college football next year. And also, too, they got us down to Oxford comfortable. We had 5 of us, and we bring all of this on the road with us. So a lot of space in that expedition they have us in. So go visit my friends in Arkadelphia. Southwest Auto is the place to be. Hashtag iDrive SWA. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the breakdown. I know a lot of people are interested at it, especially at home. Once again, I'm sorry if you can't see it here. Once again, you can just hop online right now on your phone, YouTube, Twitter, or Facebook at 4th and 5, and you can watch the breakdown from there. All right, everybody that is still standing by over here online, let's get back to it. Once again, when it comes to where we picked up where we left off, so many open targets all over the field, just so much miscommunication, players out of place. This is just really, really bad football. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, and I really can't comprehend how this wasn't adjusted early. Look at this one right here. I'm 37 years old, and I can get out here and run this route, all right? Yes, I played football back in the day, but I am not the man that I used to be. I'd probably blow a hamstring doing it, but I would at least be open. I don't understand how on a 1st and 10 you're giving so much coverage. Now, I get what you're thinking. Okay, we only got 45 seconds left, and we don't want to give up anything big. Games like this, you cannot afford to give up anything if you don't have to, especially making it easy like this. They got 2 timeouts. That's way too easy of a throw and catch. And as you can see, field goals mattered in this game. We hadn't even touched on that. But, yeah, they're just moving the ball and got into field goal range. And now this one, I once again, 13, I'm glad he's doing okay. That was a very scary moment on the field. Going back and watching tape, they picked on him, and he struggled a lot trying to figure out exactly where to be. You can see they're going to have this crossing route coming right here. And you see right here, he thinks he's supposed to go with this guy in man-to-man coverage. But as the play pans out, you can see that's not who he has covered, not by any means, because you can see it happening right here, okay? This guy takes over that flat responsibility, and then I believe 13 on this one. I have to go back and talk to Matt Harris on this one. I believe 13 is supposed to pass that off and then stay back in his zone. Because I just don't understand how you let guys run completely wide open. And you can see as he turns his head right there, that's the indicator like, uh-oh, that's supposed to be me. That's bad news. And the thing about it is it's not just him. They got 2 guys wide open backside, just being outplayed, outcoached, mental mistakes all over the field, unacceptable in a game that you have a shot to win. And this one right here, yeah, I mean, I'll say this right now. The quarterback for Ole Miss, I know Lane Kiffin was probably ripping him, you know what. How he missed this, I have no idea. This is literally set up for this to happen. You fake this little quick screen right here and watch this receiver slip by. Wide open. I don't know what's making him not throw this football. Makes no sense. Now, on the other end, what are we doing at the safety position? Larry Worth, we're just taking up space. Single high safety. There's no tight end, no receiver, no back on that side. We're just standing out here. I don't get it. I don't understand. Good play concept. But he didn't even throw it. Look at that. Should have been an easy touchdown. Yet once again, miscommunication. Guys running wide open all over the field. And then the physicality aspect that is, you have to make sure that you meet these linemen at the line of scrimmage. I don't understand why Steven Dix right here is backing up at all. You have to attack this. You have to meet that guy in the hole. Trust me, running backs and tight ends, they don't want to be lead blockers. Some do. Usually they're called fullbacks. But running backs, this is when you make them pay for trying to block you in the middle of the hole. Just catching the blocks right here. Same thing with Wooden. Should have been coming down much faster than that. I just don't get it. And then this is another thing that was kind of hard to watch. Sorey is so good. He's such a good football player. Any other week he makes this play, he shoots this gap, just so hesitant and unsure on the defensive side of the ball. That's not going to do it. So once again, just poor play defensively. I can just keep the tape rolling all day. Guys being wide open, but this is the play that sent me right here. There's no excuse for this play happening right here. Tight end almost goes down. He stopped at the 1-yard line. Make this make sense to me, all right? The Caleb Wooden right here, based off the other guys, once the ball is snapped, single high safety, responsible for the tight end that is in the slot, okay? Backs up, gives so much space. It's 3rd and 10. It's 3rd and 10 right now. I don't understand what Caleb Wooden is doing all the way back here. He notices it too late, and he's completely out of position. Easy throw and catch. You can see now 2 guys looking at him. We still got a shot. Larry Worth is having a hard time making tackles in space, or at least he did last Saturday. You have to be an athlete right here, Larry. Have to be. This is not Tyreek Hill running at you right here. This is a big tight end. Just be physical and make this play. Just get juked for no reason. But then you got another line of defense in Mitchell. I don't understand what's happening right there. How do you not make that tackle? And then look at Wooden right here jogging. I don't get it. I don't understand. I would not want to be in a film room watching film this week if I were a defender on Razorbacks defense right now. And then look at my guy right here, number 13. He has man-to-man coverage. As he's coming across, he realizes the ball has been thrown and it is caught. He sees it caught. He's looking right at him. Where's he going? Why is he still guarding his guy and letting this tight end run right by him? I don't understand it. Makes no sense to me. That would give you a lot of reason to be very concerned moving forward this year when it comes to Arkansas on defense. Now, do I believe they bounce back this year or next week because we're playing Memphis? Yes. But playing competitive guys and an offensive coordinator who is very savvy, I am very concerned. The only thing that gives me hope is Taylon Green right now. He had an unbelievable game. And we talked about this on the radio when it comes to players right now in all of college football. I don't know who else you say right now is playing better at the position than Taylon Green. Maybe the quarterback from OU right now. But this guy has put on a show, and I think we finally saw what it looks like to have a year 2 quarterback under Coach Petrino's system, and it is special. And I think he still has room for improvement, even after a great game like this. And I'm going to show you a play right here because this is a part of our Southwest Auto drive of the game, which got voted on, a 75-yard drive that ended in a touchdown rushing from Taylon Green. But this play right here, even though I'm showing it, it's an incompletion. So what are we talking about, DJ? I just want to brag on Taylon Green right here, okay? Because this is so special, extremely special. Take a look right here. Does a great job scanning. They're only rushing 3, so he knows he can take his time, okay? They got coverage all over the place, but if you give him time and he gets outside the pocket, he can make something happen, as he does right here. And now look at this throw right here, okay? It ends up being a drop. Okay, it's hard to see from this angle, but you can't put this anywhere else. Look at that. That is, whew, that's throws that quarterbacks make on Sundays. Very impressive. Taylon is getting more accurate. He's getting more confident. He is taking command of the offense, and it's very special to see. Like I said, giving me a little bit of a chill pill after watching our defense's performance. And then another one right here. He's finally getting the timing right on this read option. So many times it panned out to where we would take tackles for a loss. He did a great job reading the defensive ends from Ole Miss almost every single time. There was one play we got caught, but I think it was just a really good defensive call. But great job by him. Look at this lane that opened up. Grant Cook's going to talk a little bit more on the offensive line and give them their flowers come Tuesday. I just want to focus on Taylon Green on this one right here. And then you get another spot right here, just dialing it in right here. When your team needs it, down 3 late in the game, he's eyeing his read, and this is progress because he struggled with this against A-State just last week. But he's in the film room, and he's understanding, let me lock in, let me focus. He sees this defender come down on Platt right here, a little bit shorter, and he gets the ball right behind him to the other tight end and Rohan Jones. Great throw and catch to keep the chains moving. And this is great. I can't remember what this play is called, but this is a 3rd and 1. You have to have it. Tight end's going to sneak out of the backfield right here, but you're going to see Platt has a hard time getting through traffic. Gets a little traffic jam right there. Taylon's looking at him, and he's trying to give him a chance, but he can't shake it. The defense figures it out. Now you have to make something happen. Once again, on the run, throws a dart to where only his receiver can make the catch. Taylon Green is playing some of the best football at the quarterback position in the country right now. They've been saying it on College Game Day on ESPN, potentially probably the most underrated quarterback in all of the nation. At least that's what we've seen so far. Also, what I saw on tape, Taylon Green's communication before the snap. He sees the defense is probably going to try to bring pressure off the edge on the right side of the line of scrimmage. He makes it a little play call, communicates it with his tight end, puts him in a really good position to go ahead and outflank the defense. Now you got a lead blocker. Taylon, man, you're doing special things up front. Very excited to see this continued growth. All right, now, that being said, you know, I always like to point out some things. How are y'all? I always like to point out rooms for improvement. Out of this, the whole tape that I watched, Taylon maybe had 2, maybe 3 bad passes, and that is it. Unfortunately, they come on times when you really, really need them. I'm not even going to give him that big of a hard time on this just because he played so good. But if he could go back, I'm sure he would love to have these throws back. You can see right here, he actually got the ball out on time. He just missed him. He overthrew Omega on this one right here. Very tough on that one. You hate it. Omega running great routes. I mean, look at that. Pressed the D back, stemmed him up, then came across, leaving a good little window for your quarterback. And so he overthrew him on the last one. It looks like he tried to compensate on this one. Now he underthrew it a little bit, and it's just, those plays right there, I'm sure he would love to have back. Once again, Omega. Look at this concept by Coach Petrino, though. I mean, we did Coach Petrino something else on calling those plays. Been really fun to watch. Another one right here where receivers, they just got to help Talon in these situations. Once again, backs against the wall, stands in the pocket. Look how we talked about him being so late throwing the ball, not getting the ball out early. Did a great job getting this ball out before he even saw the receiver. He knew where he wanted to be, gets it out on time. Now, receiver, you got to make this catch. He goes up with one hand. Hey, CJ, I need you to go up with two right here and make this tough catch. That's what it's like to be an elite receiver in the SEC. Extend, maybe take the shot in the ribs, but let's keep the chains moving and move on. Don't worry about those guys coming. I don't think he really is worried about those guys coming. And this play right here may be my favorite play of Talon Green of all time and his 2 years of being an Arkansas Razorback. This right here is first-round draft pick play right here. You see, he gets the bull rush up front. And Talon of old, he gets out of the pocket right here. But he does such a good job taking his time because he knows where he wants to throw it. He sees the pocket. He steps up into the pocket and then gets his eyes right back to his target. How special is that? And then he throws a strike. Look at that. That is a laser beam. Sorry for people here at Oakland for not being able to see this. It's some really good tape. Great play design. This receiver's going to run this guy off, create this window. Talon right now is trying to find that pocket because he knows Omega. He's trusting him. And then look at this. The way he leads him. Last year, Talon had a hard time maybe throwing behind some receivers. You can't put this ball anywhere else. Whew. That's big time right there by Talon Green. That has to be very encouraging if you're a Razorback fan moving forward to see how impressive that is. And we got people right now commenting right now. I saw that pick play with a ton of contact. Definitely got him loose. There's so many things when it comes to this Razorback team that should have you excited, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, I know we had to shake a few things up because we had some power outage difficulties, but we're slowly getting back on track. All right, so we got one more break. And when we come back, we got to talk about the team we're going to play. All right, I like to look ahead. I done broke down the film on the Memphis game. I'd let you know what we got in store when we head down to good old Bill Street. And why maybe I feel so confident. Maybe just because I'm a Razorback fan and I ain't worried about Memphis. We're going to have that and more on the other side.
Welcome to Oakland, where every arrival marks the beginning of a memorable stay. From the moment you walk through our doors, Oakland's dedicated team is committed to exceeding your expectations. Our concierge is ready to welcome you by tailoring your ideal escape. With 2 restaurants on site, we can reserve your table to experience fine dining without ever having to leave the resort. The Bugler offers a culinary experience featuring an array of American cuisine and overlooks Oakland's legendary
Sorry
thoroughbred
about the
racetrack.
technical
Oakland has
difficulty.
served
That
as
was
a
a really cool
destination for
film.
horse
Sorry y'all couldn't watch
enthusiasts
it.
for generations,
I
offering you
apologize.
the
Hey,
experience
y'all,
to
what's going
witness
on?
the thrill from
Sorry we're
December
not
through
doing
May.
trivia anymore. We
The
have
live
some
action
space
at
for it
Oakland
Monday Night
spans
Football,
from
you know.
betting on
But maybe
thoroughbred
we
to
do trivia
spinning
next week.
reels and rolling dice in the casino.
Mainline
Your
sports
modern
bar.
fine
Having a
dining
good time.
experience awaits at the
I don't know
Oakland
how to fix
Bar
that issue
with
up there
highly
to get our
composed
screen up,
plates
but appreciate y'all still
located
hanging out,
inside the
having a good
casino.
time. All right,
With
Mom,
a
you
depth
leaving?
of flavors to leave your palate craving
Can't see
deep,
nothing.
accompanied by
All right,
some
get
of the most unique cocktails and
I know you
extensive
can't
wine
see. Love you.
lists in the
Love you,
region.
love you.
Your
All right,
dining
about to get back to it.
indulgence doesn't end with the Oak Room. Our concierge can provide recommendations on a variety of local restaurants. The elegantly appointed lounge of the First Turn Bar is the perfect setting to wrap up your day of adventure. Discover the charm of hot springs and check into Oakland, your ultimate destination.
Ooh, look at that. We got our own little signage here at the Mainline Sports Bar. How cool is that? Making drinks. Look at her. She's a pro. Always enjoy the Mainline Sports Bar as we continue to talk about some film breakdowns for everybody. So that being said, let's go and switch it up. Like I said, we're having some technical difficulties, but we are pushing through. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Memphis, okay? They got a quarterback that's been in college for about 10 years. I'm just kidding. I think this is his third school in 6 years. But I will say he's kind of off and on. I think he ended up leaving Colorado because Deion Sanders became the head coach. And y'all remember that line. Now, I could be wrong. Somebody fact check me on this. But y'all remember the line, I'm coming and I'm bringing Louis. I think that was potentially why he ended up getting out of Colorado. I'd have to go back and look at the years. But then he goes to Nevada and had one really good year and then one really bad year. So very interesting guy that we're about to face. He can run the ball. 1 year at Nevada, he had over 755 rushing yards, and then the other year it was just awful. So they like to read options. I'll tell you this, one thing that we are going to see is a very similar offense to kind of like what we run. The whole little read things. Is he going to pull it? Is he going to hand it off? They rely on their running back to get a lot of things done, and then they like to take some deep shots here or there. So we're just going to have to. But like I said, talent-wise, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but it does sound disrespectful. Arkansas should handle this with ease. Just like I said, when you have a conference like this, and you have Arkansas State, that's just my 2 cents. I guess we'll find out. Hope I'm not wrong. All right, let's go ahead and pick up where we left off, but I'm going to have to get to the Memphis part. Bear with me. And I think it was this last play. Sorry, we're watching Talon highs. Here we go. Once again, yeah, I'll just go ahead and run this through one more time because I think this was the coolest play in Talon's history. God, that play right there, if he continues to do that, he's going to make some money. He's going to continue to make some money because I think he's over $1 million something right now as a college student. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at Memphis, quarterback right here. This is who I was talking about, okay? He's a veteran. He has experience. I don't think the game will be too much for him playing against a bigger opponent because he's played at Colorado, played some okay teams, and then Nevada as well. I don't think he'll be rattled. I think he'll be confident coming into this game. Great job, but I think he's late with this ball, and you're going to see a lot of underthrown balls. Should be opportunities for interceptions for our defense. Should be. All right. If we tighten up, got to tighten up on the defense side of the ball. Underthrown right there. The receiver does a great job adjusting. Another one right here, it's going to be critical. We saw it on tape against Ole Miss. Linebackers being slow, filling the holes. We have to be the hammer and not the nail. You have to see this happen way before that and meet that running back at the line of scrimmage and tighten the chin straps and let them know it's going to be a long day. Linebacker right here from Troy. It looks like he didn't want any piece of that. So, sorry, Dix, all your linebackers, we have to make right what happened this past Saturday. Thing about it is, I really do believe they can get that done. Just have to pull these triggers and be confident. Get in the playbook. Stop playing so slow. Be more reactive instead of thinking all the time. Matt's probably going to talk about that in his breakdown. Another one right here, once again, when it comes to, he takes so long in the pocket, and they have a lot of slow developing plays. This is a 3rd and 7 right here, and you don't really have any underneath option, okay? These guys are going way beyond the sticks. Usually 3rd down, they're bringing pressure. You need an option that's going to be much quicker. Can't get that figured out. Scans the field, but time clock should be going off. And get this thing going. All right, let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling. Sorry, said my mic was still on during the break. I apologize. I was just trying to let my people here at the main line know that we're trying our best to make things happen. All right, let's go again. Once again, linebackers have to step up. You see how that tackle or that guard right there just collected it. We have opportunities to get more pressure on this quarterback, just like this linebacker did here. And look at my guy down here tripping up over his feet. I think this will be a good day for our defensive line that really hasn't been much productive this year, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I think this will be a very encouraging game for them to make some big-time plays ahead of Notre Dame and try to get some confidence back. And another play right here from Memphis, once again, takes a lot of time in the pocket. Another great concept right here. They get behind the defense. There was a bust in the secondary, but this guy underthrows a lot of balls. Look at this. This receiver had to slow up on this one. If he would have caught that in stride, it would have been a touchdown. Once again, I think our DBs are a little bit better than Troy, even after Ole Miss. We got opportunities to make some turnovers. I'm saying it now. I think we have at least 2 interceptions this Saturday down in Memphis. All right, let's keep it going. The read option, once again, takes his time in the pocket. I don't think this is going to happen often, okay? Look at this. Last second, turns around. He throws the ball with both feet in the air. I've never seen that before. That's pretty wild. Never seen that before. And this somehow turns into a touchdown. Hopefully, once again, our DB's in place. What a catch. Maybe that made SportsCenter top 10. So they do got some guys with some talent, but we should be just fine moving forward. Let's keep it rolling. So far what I've seen is a team in Troy that is just not very good. You can see right here, they should be filling these gaps, not now, but right now. Just very hesitant and just poor football awareness, poor angles, and they're letting Memphis run all of them. Now, I know y'all are probably in the chat right now saying Arkansas did the same thing. I really do, for some reason, think we bounce back. But you see this guy right here, number 3, he's avoiding this block. You need to run right through this guy and free up somebody else like that safety coming. But you can't avoid this block and fall down on your own. So like I said, yes, Memphis has been putting up some pretty good numbers. Competition just has not been great at all. Once again, I'm not worried about it at all. Let's keep it rolling right here. Just another situation where these linebackers are so slow filling these holes. A little bit like we did against Ole Miss. So you got to meet this blocker on and not catch. An easy block goes in for a touchdown. So, yes, Memphis has been putting up a lot of points, but I think our linebackers and I think our D-line are far superior than the talent that they've played. Now, Memphis does have a little bit more experience up front, and y'all know how I am about experience. I love it. You don't see it too often that too many schools keep the same guys around. It's always a new team each and every year. So I'm not, like I said, I think this is the perfect game and the perfect place for Arkansas to get back on track and potentially start the season 4-1. What are you talking about, DJ? That would be 3-1. I think if we handle business against Memphis, I think we have a really good shot back at home against Notre Dame. Now, if something goes wrong in Memphis, I may have to change that. But from what I've seen so far on tape and me watching what I just saw with Taylon Green, you have to feel optimistic about that moving forward. All right, let's go ahead. Like I said, we had to backtrack. This is something that popped up that I thought was interesting. I'm going to show some comments that Coach Pittman made after the game. And I think you're starting to see a trend of some coaches that are starting to be frustrated when it comes to reporters asking questions in post game. And so this kind of got a little bit of traction online. And so let's go ahead and run this clip real quick and hear what Coach Pittman had to say post game.
Coach, over the last couple of years, losing by one score on the road is some really tough.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. I mean, I don't know what I do with it. Tell me what to do. I mean, I don't know what to do.
Curious for you, how do you believe that this team will learn from the loss tonight and to hopefully, flip the script moving forward in the next couple of weeks?
I don't know. I mean, they're hurt, which is a good thing. It means something to them, which is a good thing. So when you have that, they'll go back to work and they'll do a good job with that.
Appreciate you, Coach. We got to get Taylor and Sori in here.
Frustrated, and I get it. You can see the frustration on his face. I just feel like coaches in that situation post-game, man, all eyes are on you, okay? And you can't let the moment be too big. You can't let your emotions overwhelm you, even when reporters ask questions that get under your skin. But the truth is, we have been in so many one-possession games that we cannot figure out how to finish. And I think, as a head coach, take a second, take a deep breath, and answer with something else besides, I don't know. That doesn't boost any confidence. And then, especially when it comes to people saying, we want to donate to this program, you want us to donate to NIL. We got these big paychecks. We got this big buyouts. I think that should promote more than I don't know as an answer. And I get it because I've seen it on tape too. And I know Coach Pittman is just tired of answering the same question. But when it comes to talking about the third downs, how come we can't do that? Then he says, I don't know. What do you want me to do? And what are your players going to learn from this? Well, they're hurt. I think what they can learn from this is they can go back and watch tape and have some tough love. And what they're going to learn from this is when they see it on film, and I would put it in front of the whole team, all these effort plays, I would take them out of their position rooms and I'd put them in the team meeting room and I'd put all those effort plays on the big screen. And then I would press play And then I would pause when you see guys loafing, guys having missed tackles, guys having missed assignments. And then I would have them explain to the team, what were you doing? What happened right here? A real competitor, that would burn them to the core. All right. And then when you put that on tape, and then you want to make sure that you go back next week and make sure you don't have any film like that. I think that's what they could learn from a game like that. So I get it hurts, and I get it. I mean, but now I get this is right after the game. He probably doesn't have time to go through and try to think of an answer anywhere remotely close to that. But, I mean, the same thing happened with Les Miles at LSU, getting after a reporter for asking a really good question. And so I think that's a little trend going on right now, and I just encourage coaches in those moments just to take a deep breath. I get it's annoying. I know you are really, really mad that your team just lost, but I think in those moments, those messages can really be powerful, and I think I don't know could just be a little bit better moving forward. But tough love is something – see, I don't know this. I know a lot of people think this. I know y'all can't see this comment on the screen right now, but this is Cobra the Cobra. Okay, he says, tough love is not something Pittman does. I just don't see it. I don't know. We're not in the locker room. I think when you've been around the game that long, you understand, especially an old school coach, tough love is essential. Okay, so I don't think he's the type that publicly in a press conference feels that's the right space to throw his guys under the bus. Okay. Hopefully the tough love is happening in the meeting rooms, but I do think there's some kind of sense that a lot of these players need to be held a lot more accountable for the product that they're putting on the field. And I think that's the first step, if I were a coach, to make sure we have that team meeting, and put it up on the big screen and let them explain why they're not giving it all for their teammates. That's my 2 cents on that. All right, we got an interesting week that we have coming up for y'all. Once again, Thursday is going to be the big night, in my opinion. I'm not trying to brush over Grant Cook's offensive line breakdown tomorrow night, which will be really, really good. You want to be more encouraged about the offensive side of the ball, tune in Tuesday night for that. And then Wednesday, we got viewer comments. That's where we're going to sit down. We're just going to open up the stream. Any question y'all have, we'll sit down and talk about it. Have a question. We actually did something cool not too long ago where we're now able to send our viewers links, and they can hop on the video call with us and be a part of the show. I think that's really, really cool. Also, too, Friday, Josh is getting real pumped up nowadays, all right? He's feeling himself. You're going to have to scout him up with Josh Throne. And then this weekend, we're going to switch it up. We are not going to Memphis. We're heading up to Northwest Arkansas. We're going to be live in Bentonville, in the Bentonville Square for early morning kickoff, 9 a.m. show. So if you're up there in Northwest Arkansas, you want to hang out with us at 4th and 5, that would be the place to do it. I think we're going to be live while the farmers market's going on. Maybe we get some good produce, watch some games, and they just opened up a new sports bar where we're going to watch the game there. So appreciate y'all watching 4th and 5. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but, we just got to roll with the punches, make the best out of it, learn from our mistakes, move forward. Thank y'all for watching 4th and 5, and everyone hang